Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Hearts of Iron 4, where we are playing the Road to 56, and things are going pretty well at the moment. So the Allies have been pushing hard through Siberia after the fall of the Far East, and these players are starting to produce some troops of their own. So China's got 32 divisions, Japan's got 49, still a lot of manpower. China also doing nicely. India actually having a little bit of manpower now that we've switched all of our troops away from the Indian template, also with a couple of divisions of their own. And then of course the United States coming in with some too. The biggest news recently is the fact that the Soviets and Germany are now at war. Finally, as of 2 months ago. 3 months ago. So October 49, Germany finally declared war on the Soviet Union, and this, I think, has been more or less a stalemate since then. The other bit of news, of course, is the Allied invasions of Spain. So this is effectively D-Day. It has occurred, and we have landed a lot of troops over here, spearheaded by our armoured divisions, which have now been rounded out with mechanised, although they are definitely taking a fair bit of damage in the process. The thing which I think I need to do next is build up some more air bases. I was kind of clicking around between sessions to think, okay, what do I need to do here? What do I need to change? And upgrading the air bases is definitely one of them, because there is still the mother of all air battles going on over here, though not quite as big as the one that happened over Anatolia. It is still kind of intensive. We have 4,000 fighters, they have 2,500, so we should eventually be able to beat them out, but having more air force capacity here would definitely be a good thing. Also, there has been a fairly significant landing here in Portugal, so the Brazilians and the Americans have started to land. The American invasion of Italy was a bust. However, the American and Greek invasion, or liberation of Greece, has been going pretty well. Alright, onwards. Because my armoured divisions still a go, and now the Marines should also be able to launch their naval invasion. Although we are currently fighting the Spanish fleet here. In fact, the only place where we're actually going to be landing in a contested manner is going to be Murcia. Which we are arriving at now. We're pushing them back fairly easily, and here comes the landing. Boom. Okay, the Marines have arrived. So we can go ahead and cancel their orders. And then I guess we'll prepare some naval invasions of our own against maybe Italy. Because we do have a very small American invasion of Sicily going on. You know what? I think that is what we're going to do. So we're going to go from here to here. You know what? No, let's go from Malta. We haven't really done much from Malta so far. Ready. Naval invasion from there to there. And from there. Right. It's kind of hard to click on Malta without clicking on anything else important. To there. And then half of you can be used in that offensive. So we'll prepare that. We'll take over the whole of Sicily, and then we can launch some further invasions from that point onwards. I'm going to stick you over there, just so that we have you separated out. Wait, the cursor is off? Really? Oh, for Pete's sake. Apparently the fix didn't work. Yep, you're right. It is. Damn it. Do we still have problems with the scaling? So does it look sharp still? Because the cursor one I can deal with. It's easy to fix. The The time when we lose graphical fidelity, that's the real problem for me. Apparently we have enough shipyards where we could build more ships, although we definitely can't actually afford to do that. So I think we're going to build one more of each of those, and then we're going to start switching over to something else. And I think I want to build more of the raiders. Just the Walkler. Just realised I misspelt Walker. Oops. Commerce Raider. We're definitely building more of them. Put them into the training task force. In fact, we're not building any ships at the moment because of the shortage of chromium. But let's go ahead and queue up enough of those. And that should do us nicely. Okay, so why am I suddenly so short of everything? That's all of my factories now gone. Graphics are good. Alright, good. So the armor division still very much leading the way down here, with the mechanized coming in behind, giving a little bit of support. British medium tanks. Oh, sorry, the British modern tanks really do look kind of cool. Oh, that's the new jet. Excellent. Okay. So January 1950. Is 1950 when we can research a new research thing? No. No, it's not. Those are all 51s. Those are all 51s. What are we doing 50 that we haven't got already? I have a feeling that we've been going slightly ahead of ourselves here. Tanks? Nope, that's all 51 as well. Artillery is a 51. Land doctrine's already done. Naval is just kind of a stopgap. No more doctrines. Check those already. Those are all 51s. That's all 51. Well, it kind of looks like we should start... Ah, here we go. Regional defense. Let's start from there. And we are producing outdated equipment, which is, of course, the old jet. So, let's upgrade the vampires. We're going to get more range. We're going to get more engine. More reliability, I think. 900 points. That sounds good to me. So the vampire is obsolete, and that's the Mark 1. Okay, good. Is there a cost difference between those? So the meteors are slightly less aluminium. We haven't had an aluminium shortage, so I think that's fine. Air defense of the vampire is better. Agility is actually the same. Naval attack's the same. Ground attack slightly better. Reliability is the same but more expensive. 1,000 kilometers more range. Okay, that's a huge difference. And also much, much faster, which means even more range. Okay, so the new jets have an enormous range. I'm kind of wondering if we want to just upgrade the old ones. I think I am going to do that, which also saves us a bunch of resources. Ah, Hobard's done his job up here, so I'm going to say your next objective is going to be uniting all of this. Go. Although we are definitely getting short in a few areas. They don't seem to be able to do very much to actually stop us. Out of curiosity, what country would I try after the UK? Don't know. I was asked that earlier, and it really depends what I feel like at the time. I notice you never seem to upgrade the weapons on aircraft. Are weapon upgrades weak, or are the other options just better? The other options are just better. I mean, I do upgrade the weapons for ground attack, but in terms of air combat, no. The main thing about upgrading weapons, the only reason you would really need to do so, is if you're fighting strategic bombers. If your opponent's using a lot of strategic bombers, then you will need to upgrade the weapons, otherwise you simply can't hit them. But otherwise, I think that upgrading weapons reduces their agility or something, which actually makes them worse at dogfighting. I need to remember exactly how that works. So we go to the vampire, upgrade weapons. Yeah, they lose agility, which makes them worse at fighting other fighters. So weapons is basically just an upgrade for anti-bomber duty. So heavy fighters, if you're dealing with strategic bombers, could benefit from weapon upgrades. But for regular fighters, you almost never want to do that. Nice. We should probably reduce the size of that line. But no, we can keep putting pressure on Mordred. Taking Mordred out would be a good idea because that would potentially capitulate them. Let's also take a look at the naval production. You're a commerce raider, so we can put you in there. And then these two are ready, and they're just regular old destroyers. You guys are all anti-mines. Let's put you in there. And those are just regular destroyers. Why do I have a 1940 carrier? The USS. Why do I have an American 1940s carrier? And a bunch of Tier 1 destroyers. I don't know. You're the carrier expert, so let's go ahead and add another carrier to your flotilla. There we go. Okay, cool. Harold Alexander has been wounded. That is very unfortunate because he is in my main attack. He is the Jaeger commander. In which case I'm going to say stop the main attack going. The minor attacks can continue. The armoured attacks can continue.
Ready to move.
Say that this is going to go to there. Carry on. How goes the Russian front? It's going pretty well. I mean, we are still just attacking here and there in places, basically as opportunities arise. Most of the fighting is going to be here, and that's still pretty much stalemate. So Grodno. Grodno is the front line. It's currently held by the Soviets. 4 German submarines. What level subs are they? 1944 subs, so these are modern. And I'm still catching them. So they are sinking a couple of the convoys. We do have a lot more destroyers on the way in. We even have Hunter-Killer. Bruce Fraser is getting really good at this job. Okay. Anti-tank rocket, 1950s. Oh, and we have new focus too. Let's do the landward fortifications for Hong Kong. And then research. This was rockets, which was these. No other upgrades available there. I'm going to start on Leo. I know it's going to take a year, but at this point I think it's probably worth it.
Yes, sir.
Right, Hobart, your units are getting ruined up here in the north. What are you lacking? Modern tanks, modern SPs, mechanized and motorized. You're basically lacking everything. And yeah, we kind of are. Rocket artillery we have plenty of, so let's reduce the amount of rocket artillery we're producing down to just 5. And how are we doing for jets now? Surplus. So let's drop the amount of jets we're producing too. Now we have spares. I want another modern tank, I want another SP. I want 2 more mechanized. Another super heavy. Plus, of course, the resources to actually build all of this. Ah, Portugal's back. Welcome back, Portugal. How's that doing for steel? Okay, we're fine. So anything else we can spend on chromium at this point. We are buying all of the chromium that South Africa produces. Crikey, that's a lot. Oh yeah, that's another one I should probably have checked, just to see how Manchuria's doing. I want to know how many divisions they have in the field now. 34. With more industry than China. Not as many shipyards though. And Japan actually has the least. And yet the most divisions. Interesting. How are the Dutch doing? 5 divisions, 20 factories. I mean, not terribly. They're out of manpower though, that's their problem. They now have 3,000 fighters here, but we have almost 4,000. I could potentially do with even more. Oh, those are old school fighters. Interesting. These aren't. These are jets. And actually, most of the air bases here are full. But I think what I'm still going to do is I'm going to increase the amount of aircraft in each of the fighter wings by 100. Heavy fighter wings I'm going to leave as is. Should be something along those lines. Another 400 or 500 jets won't hurt. Yeah, I wonder if I'm still lend-leasing to China. I am. We've so far sent 6,000, 16, that's 24, 25, 26, 27, 30, 47, oh, and then 83. We've sent about 100,000 guns to China so far. Oh yeah, and ace pilots. That's another thing that I should check on, because we probably have a bunch of ace pilots which are not assigned. Assigned. Unassigned. 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 As I was saying, we have a lot of ace pilots because these came from all of the foreign air wings, and then once they disbanded, because their crews went home, the ace pilots were apparently left behind. That's just a carrier. Don't care about the carrier wings. That one I do. And hell, bonuses are bonuses, so we may as well use them. We do have a lot. Do we have any for bomber wings? Apparently not. Okay. I'm a stunny. And another one. Just can't keep them away. So if I needed to build 2 more units to round this one out, what should I get? Mechanized or tanks? I think we'll get tanks. $1,500 soft attack, 1,500 breakthrough, while getting armor pierced. These modern tank divisions are kind of insane. Since I learned how to use the Navy, I've been having a blast playing as the minor nations and messing up the free powers trade. That is a really good one. But do you laugh manically like Mordred did during the PDX event? That is also a good question. Oh, in fact, yeah, this is friendly territory, isn't it? So it really should extend down that way. Then we can make use of those territories when taking this stuff. And then we also choose your line down to here. Meanwhile, Hobart is slowly but surely getting its reinforcements back, but I think what I need to do is make sure that all of these are getting repaired. Because we are still suffering from supply issues. Not as many. Like, most of the big problems are gone. There's still a few. Right, where's Grodno? There. Germany is currently winning. But as soon as I take Gibraltar back, I will be very happy. We're about to. And there it is.
Orders!
Boom. Okay, so is there any upgrade I can do in Gibraltar to help things out, like air bases and whoops, garrisons and stuff like that? Not that I'm really going to bother. I am, however, going to set these to the top so that they get built. And just make sure all of the infrastructure is getting done too. Because it is the infrastructure which is the most important, by far. And in fact, your objective is now ended. You've done it. Mission accomplished. So let's grab this whole front. Let's cancel it first. Only I want you to go via Madrid.
Orders!
Meanwhile, the Portuguese territories continue to grow. And Hobart's finished his job. Okay, we are almost recovered in terms of super heavy tank destroyers, which is great. Mechanized and motorized we're very low on, and in fact I seem to remember that I don't actually produce any motorized. Oh yes I do, just not very much. I'm actually surprised I'm as low on it as I am. O'Connor was wounded as well.
Yes, sir!
Oh, O'Connor's not one of these, that's fine.
Yes, sir!
How long is Alexander out for? 57 days. Ugh.
Attention! Orders!
Staff office plan. Let's get you guys ready for another offensive. And we'll see if we can take Spain out of this war completely. Because I doubt that it's going to take very much more. Meanwhile, how are things going against the Soviets? No change, really.
Lance! Ready to move!
Aha, the Vickers Valiant. Which is the strategic bomber. Oh, that finished before the tactical. Interesting. March 1950. I'm really running out of things to research here. 220 days. 300 days. 400. Ah, 191. Here we go. Let's go ahead of time with our rocket artillery. And in fact, all of the special forces should already be done. Let's just make sure that we've already upgraded them with rockets. I know we don't have any jungle units at the moment, but if we ever decide to switch over, then we want to make sure that they are correct. And scroll up here. Shock troops. Ah, shock troops aren't using it yet. Rocket artillery, and rocket artillery. Same thing with deserts. And then the Marines are already doing it. Lifeguards already do it. What about the mechanized? Already do it. Okay. Next up will be the Chinese garrison units. We're going to switch out their artillery for rocket artillery. And then the infantry, which I think is these guys. And they're still using heavy tank destroyers. Eesh, they're out of date. That'll provide a deficit again, but they do not have priority. So I think we'll be okay. How many troops does Portugal have? I doubt very many. Oh no, 22. With 1 million manpower still. Africa? Is that why? Yeah, probably. Actually, they seem to have lost a bunch of their coastal acquisitions.
All in!
I think I'm going to need to reduce this line so we're focusing on Madrid.
Ready!
I'm going to halt your attack until that happens. Just make sure your units get into position nice and quickly. And yeah, I know I have a naval invasion. The problem is I don't have anyone to support the naval invasion when it happens. Although we may not need it here.
Yes, sir!
Oh yeah, and I'm training them anyway, so... Right, that's the tactical bomber. So, is this going to replace the Tempest yet? The range certainly does. Ground attack 20, ground attack 22. I would say yes, this now replaces. Although the production cost is way higher. But the range makes up for it. Okay, let's switch over to the Canberras. Although we probably should upgrade it as well. To do more bombing? Ground attack, yes.